Fancy intro music, yeah! Woo! Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel where today we'll be taking a look, I don't know, base rating. We haven't talked about this in quite some time, but as many of you have been watching me go through these videos of camping at different levels, you're seeing prices just continue to go up and up and up for more things. Well, that requires you to really do what I'm doing right now in the background. Go out and raid. Shout out to the 2 million par steal I'm getting from this level 34 base. His name is Captain Trivia? Get out the way, Enterprise. Captain Trewa. Shout out to Captain Trewa, who I'm currently raiding their base. I'm sure you're a fantastic person. However, I really need those resources because 560 million par steal to me is basically nothing. It's worthless. So what can we do to increase our resources? Well, just what we're doing right now. Raiding. Which I love how somebody just left that spot because that would have been very helpful earlier. So what I want to do in this video is talking about different strategies for raiding, how you should go about doing it, and not just from a level 39 perspective, and as well crews to use to get it done. Because I think that there's really one predominantly great base raiding crew, like the one that most people use, but if you're like a newer player, you might not have access to that, and we'll talk about that in those strategies forward in this video. I would go ahead and repair my Enterprise, and you can kind of see a sneak peek of that in the above. And also, while I'm raiding, I'm kind of hesitant to to do the video because I don't want to lose it. Like, I don't want them to shield. I really don't. There's so much loot in here. Now, some of you are going to be like, that's an okay base. And others are going to be like, oh my God, 586 million steel and $100 million lithium. So it is a decent sized base. And here's what we're going to talk about is strategy. So one thing that I love to do is, you see me running Claw on this ship right now. So the main thing that I would recommend first is going for speed on your ship. So the crew that I'm currently, I did not mean to hit recall. Wow, noobs and nerves. So one thing that I do here is you'll see I've got Claw, and then I've got Synergy with Claw, and then Stein on there. Now there's 2 speed crews that you can actually run. We've got the Claw crew, as you can see, and then we can run Pan and Navi's crew to have an additional speed boost. And then of course you can run, say, Pan, Navi, and then 2 of 10 for cargo size increase. And then you can run Claw, Vixus, Stun for a cargo size increase, because you're wanting to take as much as you possibly can at one time. So my tier 6 Cavort and tier 6 Antares are taking, one of them's taking 1.7 million a run, one of them is taking 2.3 million per run. And it will still take me a long time to get these things. Why are you doing that? You need to be recalled to get these things drained out. Now, the biggest thing you're probably wondering is cracking the base. How do I go about doing that? What do I need for that? And what does that end up looking like? So let's refresh my Enterprise to show you that the crew that I'm currently running, which I'll go ahead and tell you, is probably not the most efficient crew, simply going with the it's handy crew, as in with all this new stuff in the game, away missions and base rating and PvP and PvE, my crews are all over the place. And I really need more. Like, I never thought I'd say that, but I need more. Now, before we get more officers, we need better officer procurement. I don't want to stop mentioning that because that's still such a huge pain point in this game. We need more ways to actually get officers, not just, have more, because that's kind of like a common thing. Once again, shout out to Captain Trewa, who's currently helping lift my coffers over the 600 million mark. It is super duper appreciated. Like, you don't even know how expensive. By the way, I'm not just talking at my rear. If you want to see expense, look at my hangar, 1.2 billion titanium. So, I'm sorry, par steel. Words are hard, okay? Don't judge me. Words are hard. Recall. So let's take a look at the Enterprise and what I'm currently running here. I'm running Khan as captain, and then TOS Kirk and TOS Lahura. So this is simply to have morale, to keep my shields up. This is to have more shield penetration bypass, and then Khan is your top base rating officer. We look at his abilities. Ruthless Mastermind when attacking a station. Khan has a 50% chance of drastically reducing the mitigation of all opponent's ships and defense platforms for 2 rounds. Now, it might not sound like a lot, but this is very useful. And then Synergy makes this even better. Then Savage Tenacity is, of course, your critical cumulative boost. Now, what a lot of people will do instead is they'll come up here and use Joaquin with the Synergy. So you're getting a 25% bonus to what we already had, which that now will go from 50 to 75% chance almost guaranteeing it. And then you've got when attacking a station, decreases the weapons damage of all the opponent's ships, defense platforms by 10%. Now this is going to be based on their level. But I'm going to back out here because I want to get back to raiding the base, but I'm going to show you a battle log of me breaking this base open with the Enterprise, so we can start talking about the amount of rep that we got, or I'm sorry, the amount of mitigation that we got when we were cracking it open. I got to open up my calculator because, well, math is fun. So you see us getting a nice shot here from the defense platform. Shout out to hitting a critical, greatly appreciated. But then you're going to see here, what is the mitigation here? So we're talking about lowering the mitigation, that 21,605 mitigation, divide that by 189,459 means it only mitigated, wow, 11.4. Yikes. That is, did I put my numbers in right? Okie dokie. So yeah, that's really low. That's one of the lowest I've ever seen. Okay, so anyway, you see Khan working at an extreme degree there by lowering the mitigation to make it easier to get through. Now we'll look at another one. I just want to make sure we're popping in and out so that we can see the differences in the logs while also allowing me to actually get some resources because your boy broke. I need the resources. So let's go down here and look at a defense platform hit. So we're going to have to get through all the ships, which is fine. After we knock down all the ships, because it goes 4 rounds. And let's see, there's a horizon. We're still doing damage to the horizon. Now we're doing damage to the defense platform. So see what the defense platform is going to mitigate. 9,320 divided by 224,710. 4.1. So, as you can see, it's really good. Basically, taking away mitigation completely. I didn't expect it to be that low. Like, I've seen low, like 15%, 16%. It's been a while since I've looked at that log, and that's hecky low, which explains why we're having such success with Khan as a captain attacking these ships and why it's the best. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what if I don't have Khan yet? You get access to Khan at level 28 when you're going through your swarm missions. Every swarm Sunday, you will get Khan shards, as well as you can get them through the augment store. An alternate crew to run if you don't have Khan Joaquin, or in my case, I'm running a mix of Khan. Yeah, it's not deployed. Well, you shouldn't say it's deployed. Running a mix of Khan, TOS Uhura, TOS Kirk. Once again, I realize not everybody has those. Is that you can run Yuki as captain. And here's why I promote Yuki as captain as an early base rating option, because even though it's not helping you dump the mitigation of your opponent, which you can still use cards like Marcus and Kang and Sharvanik if you've got them at a high level, Yuki, that shield stripping officer, is going to help you get through the platforms and the ships. And look, they finally shielded, so now we can actually focus on the video. Shout out to the Captain Trewa for giving us a solid, what? Let's count how many we had. I'm gonna say probably a good solid 50 or 60 million in resources. So shout out to them. Greatly appreciate them playing the Rev Deuce raid game. So when it comes to Yuki as captain, here's the benefit to running her. And I think I've got her on an away mission right now because that's just the nature of how we're going through things now. Away missions are eating up so many officers. Where's my Yuki? I'm not even going to bother editing this out because why would I? This is amazing. Here, we'll just do it this way. Sort by group, please. There's Yuki. She's on ship C. So the disrupting field decreases the shield health of the opponent's ship by 10% each round. This actually works. Remember, the guns have shields. Ships have shields. So the quicker you can get those down, the more direct damage you can apply to their hull, thus taking them down quickly. This is not better than Khan, but it is a nice supplement to that. And running them together, Marcus, Yuki, you are getting a little bit of mitigation, decrease for your opponent based on, especially if they're running an Explorer. But then you're also getting a 15% shield strip. Now, another combination people will run is Yuki, Kirk, Spock. Kirk, Spock simply giving you that beautiful shield regeneration that everybody loves, especially at a low level. So in this case, you would imagine using Yuki right here where 5 of 10 is. Now, I'm going to put it right here just for the sake of it. So this would be like a lower level base cracking crew where you're trying to keep your ship alive as long as possible and then take down the shields with Yuki. Now, one final point we're going to hit on is how big of a base can you crack? Whether I've got a Kumari or I've got an Enterprise or a Kira, is more about what is inside the base than what you can hit. For example, I can easily crack with my Enterprise a 19, 20 million base with no ships home pretty easily. The most I can do with ships home is right around this, 18, 17 million. Here's why. Because these ships act as a natural barrier. The true strength in a base is not in the ships you have. The true strength is in the power of the guns. That is where the power is. And if you remember, I've talked about using Harrison as a base defense officer, so that first round, the guns take advantage of Harrison and get all this shield bypass to do a lot of damage. That is what you have the most effect at, and that's what makes it so hard to take down a base. It's not the ships. Now, sure, if they've got an Enterprise sitting in there, you've got to get through the Enterprise, and that's a pain in the keister. But the true damage that you're getting dealt to you is due to the base's weapon. So one thing that you do in raiding is you try to find bases that have no ships home. So like this one right here, it's got 4 ships home. What about this one? This one's got no ships home. So even though there's only a 2 million power difference, this one would be way harder to crack than this one. And I guess, you know what, I'll go ahead and show you that. So now obviously 19 million, you're gonna be like, yeah, of course it's gonna be harder. But you would see a 2 million difference and think, well, it's probably not gonna be that much harder to crack. But let me show you. So my Enterprise is going to take 75% damage. All right, y'all didn't get to see it because I'm in the way, but let me show you this log. All right, see how far my Enterprise dipped down? It took about 75% damage because I had to go through 4 ships, and they weren't even that big of a ship. Now let me repair and show you the same thing going against an empty base. There's nothing there. There's no ships there. So I'm going to attack the defense platforms directly. And let's go. Let's go repair. I'm blowing through speed ups for y'all because I love you. It's for science, and science matters. So let's go hit this kayak. All right, remember this is a 17.5 million base, but no ships home. It's almost 18 million. So it's really not even that far apart. 18 million. And boom, I take like 5% damage. And I'll bring up the log so you can see. That is the difference that you're going to get. And let me get. This is the difference that you get when you're using, or you're going as a base that has ships versus not ships. So it's not as much the power. Now, generally a safe rule of thumb, if you've got your ship upgraded, you can take on 3 to 4 times the base power if it's empty. It's like my Enterprise is 4. I can generally safely get into 16 to 20 million. So 4 to 5 times, if it's empty. Sometimes even more. Depends greatly on your research and different things that you have in that area. And that's not always the same for everybody, but it gives you a rough idea. But remember the importance of the shields. And one final thing that I want to touch on is remember the battle triangle. I find so many people who don't remember or know this. When you're attacking a base and it has ships in, you're going to go through the order of the battle triangle. So for example, let me scan this. So if my Enterprise was to attack, it's going to go after those interceptors first because it has to go through the battle triangle. So if you eventually know that you're getting attacked by a bunch of Enterprises, this auger is going to be the last one to go, and it's the toughest one for me to get through because it is against the triangle. So I've got to go through all this first. So the battle triangle is very important. So if you've got, say, a problematic Enterprise that you can't get through, well, using your auger or something of that nature, a Newton will help get through those a lot quicker, or a Katinga. Also, for those who've always wondered why the North Star has such an advantage, well, the bases are built basically like survey ships. They are outside, the base itself is kind of outside that pattern. So, and that's how survey ships are. So you kind of skip through those and not have to go through the triangle, whereas using a warship, you've got to go through the triangle first. So this video had a ton of information in it because we haven't done a base rating video in quite some time, and we haven't discussed them. So there's really only 2 big crews I've focused on here, Khan and Joaquin, that rare augment officer and Khan. Now you can also do Khan, Joaquin, Katie, Khan, Joaquin, Otto. You pick which one is your favorite out of Katie and Otto, but that is a great base cracking crew together as a whole. I like to use my Enterprise and keep my shields up, so I run a mixed crew, but Khan is the key. Joaquin and then Katie are also going to give you great success. And then if you don't have that as a lower level player, Yuki, Kirk, Spock are 3 officers that you probably have gotten before level 20. So you can start using that to go into bases and make that happen. I do want to say a big thank you to everybody who is part of this video, whether you wanted to be or not. Thank you for helping me do this because people need to know about this. It's an extremely important part of the game. Unless you're spending stupid money, you're going to need the resources to upgrade. So greatly appreciated. And there's Claws of Wisdom. So we're going to go ahead and pop this little 1 hour. Y'all are been amazing. Live long and prosper. Stay safe with our Space Cowboys. Appreciate you for watching all the videos. I hope this helped you. Let me know what you'd like to see in the comment section below. Deuces, that's me. We outie. Bye-bye. An even better outro than the intro. Yeah! Woo!